Hey everyone, welcome to today's explainer. If you're defaulting to ChatGPT for absolutely everything right now, you might actually be missing out. Today we're going to explore 10 highly practical, time-saving use cases where Claude honestly outshines the competition. So if you're ready to seriously level up your productivity, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's jump in.
So, what if I told you there are specific, everyday tasks where Claude consistently outperforms its biggest rivals? And look, this isn't just marketing hype. While every single AI model out there has its own unique strengths, Claude has developed this very specific set of capabilities that has made it a total favorite among developers, researchers, writers, and business owners. In this explainer, we're not just talking theory. We are looking at 10 impressive, real-world things Claude can do to fundamentally change how you work.
To keep us on track, here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the Claude Advantage, dive into mastering massive information, shift over to advanced creation and coding, tackle managing complex logic, and finally, wrap it all up by talking about how to choose your AI tool.
All right, starting with Section 1, the Claude Advantage. Every AI has its strong suit, sure, but we're going to dive straight into what makes Claude the absolute go-to choice for specific professional workflows. And that brings us right into Section 2, Mastering Massive Information. This is really all about Claude's unparalleled ability to just devour, compare, and organize completely massive amounts of data.
Let's talk about the number 300 for a second. One of Claude's biggest advantages, hands down, is its massive context window. We were talking about the ability to analyze, summarize, and answer detailed questions about a 300-page PDF, a dense legal contract, or even an entire book. And the crazy part? It does all of this in minutes without losing the context of what it just read. While standard AI models often sort of glitch out or forget earlier parts of a conversation when handling that much text, Claude actually remembers. Instead of spending hours reading everything yourself, you can literally just ask it to pull out the key takeaways.
But wait, it doesn't stop at just one document. Say you need to compare two different contracts, or maybe you're trying to spot the differences between, 3 different drafted versions of a quarterly report. Standard AI platforms usually get pretty confused juggling multiple large files, but Claude can analyze them all simultaneously. You can ask it to highlight changes, explain inconsistencies, and summarize differences clearly. It's basically like having a hyper-focused proofreader who can hold 3 entire documents in their head at the exact same time.
Moving right along, Claude also has this incredible knack for extracting structured information. It can take completely unorganized, messy data and instantly turn it into organized tables, action checklists, timelines, or databases. If you're running a business and dealing with messy invoices, rambling meeting notes, or just pages of raw customer feedback, tossing that into Claude can drastically reduce your manual data entry work.
So, to wrap up this whole information pillar, let's look at how researchers are actually using this in the real world. They use Claude to simplify massive data dumps by orchestrating a step-by-step workflow. First, they organize sources. Second, they have it summarize the findings. Third, they ask it to identify overarching patterns. And finally, they have it generate structured research notes. It takes what used to be a monumental, agonizing manual task and turns it into a streamlined process.
Let's transition over to Section 3, Advanced Creation and Coding. This is where we see Claude move from just consuming information to actually building highly complex, interactive stuff. Now, I want to slow down for a quick second here because honestly, this is a total game changer. Claude has a feature called Artifacts, and it lets you generate complete interactive projects. So unlike other AI where you're just staring at static lines of code in a chat box, Artifacts can literally build entire websites, dashboards, calculators, quizzes, or even small games that you can immediately preview and edit right there on your screen. Prototyping is just incredibly fast this way.
And this brilliantly illustrates how Claude handles larger software projects too. The old way of using AI for coding meant reviewing one isolated file at a time, which is kind of a headache. Claude's approach? It analyzes large code bases to actually understand the relationships across multiple files in a project. Developers are using this all the time now to figure out unfamiliar code, hunt down hidden bugs, and document really complex, interconnected systems.
But hey, it's not just for the coders out there. For my writers, Claude is widely loved for producing natural, long-form writing. Whether you're generating reports, articles, or essays, Claude's writing actually reads like a human wrote it. We all know other AI models can sometimes sound super robotic or overuse those classic AI buzzwords, right? Well, Claude maintains a consistent voice across incredibly long outputs, and it practically never loses its logical flow.
Building directly on that writing capability, this is absolutely invaluable for entrepreneurs and teams. You can use Claude to create complete, professionally formatted business documents. I'm talking detailed business plans, comprehensive marketing strategies, standard operating procedures, proposal documents, training manuals, you name it. Claude generates all this with formatting that is polished and ready to hand straight to a client.
Let's move into our fourth section, managing complex logic. This is all about Claude's reliability when you throw some really tough instructions at it.
When you get into complex logic, you quickly realize something absolutely crucial. Claude thrives when given long, detailed prompts. In a real professional workflow, you rarely just have a simple one-sentence request, right? If you give Claude multiple rules, strict formatting requirements, a specific writing style, and a huge list of constraints, it is remarkably reliable at maintaining all of those instructions throughout the whole conversation. It doesn't just forget rule number 3 by the time it gets to paragraph 4.
On top of that, Claude is exceptionally good at shape-shifting its explanations to perfectly match your specific knowledge level. Say you're trying to understand complex economics, programming, medicine, or finance. You can literally just ask Claude to explain it at a beginner, intermediate, or expert level. It dynamically scales the complexity of its logic to give you exactly what you need to actually understand the concept.
All right, as we head into our final section, choosing your AI tool, let's pull all these awesome capabilities into a broader perspective.
Ultimately, you have to remember that different AI models simply excel at different tasks. While Claude is incredibly impressive for managing massive documents, generating structured writing, handling complex code, and accelerating your research, that doesn't mean it's the absolute best AI for every single situation in existence. The best choice always depends on what you're trying to accomplish today. It's all about grabbing the right tool from your toolbox. So, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Which of these Claude features surprised you the most, and how is it going to change your workflow? Think about the bottlenecks you hit every day and how these specific tricks might clear them right up. If you found this explainer helpful and learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely let me know your thoughts on that question down in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep exploring.